What's up, podcast people? Welcome to another episode of the Age Groupies Podcast, part of the United WeCast Network. I'm Mike Ergo, and along with my co-host, Lindsay Hiken, we're here to talk to you all about things related to endurance sports from an amateur athlete perspective, about living that multi-sport lifestyle, and to share the other random thoughts that pop into our heads. You can follow the show on Instagram at Age Groupies, join our Age Groupies page on Facebook, and look us up by name, Lindsay Hiken and Mike Ergo on Strava. If you have questions, comments, or topic ideas, feel free to email us at agegroupies@gmail.com. And if you enjoy the show, please leave a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Today, Lindsay and I sit down and recap our time at Tough Mudder. It was the first time for Lindsay probably ever jumping in a pile of mud, and it was her first time doing an obstacle course race in a Tough Mudder. A lot of fun. It was so cool. She joined me on a whim. I just asked her the day before if she wanted to come up to Sonoma County and do this Tough Mudder with us, and as you'll be able to hear, we had a pretty fun time. Nothing serious, nothing competitive, just good old-fashioned fun, getting dirty. All right, let's get to the episode. Lindsay, we just crushed Tough Mudder. How are you feeling?
I've got mud in places where mud should definitely not be.
Yeah, I remember along the course you were telling me that some of them started like crust up in the dirt, and you're like, I need to get this out quick.
So let's just backtrack and tell the listeners that yesterday, which was a Saturday, I texted Mike just to schedule our next, recordings and what we're going to do. And he, out of the blue, was like, wait, how did you put it?
Hey, shot in the dark here. You want to do Tough Mudder tomorrow?
And I was like, as a triathlete, I think of Tough Mudder as being ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't do those things.
No.
We're snobby above that.
But then the truth is I didn't have anything scheduled. I was going to go for a run, but I thought I like to try new things. It's good to try new things.
Yeah.
And contempt prior to investigation is not a character trait I want to have. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I signed up.
I had an advantage over you. Well, not just because this is not my first one, but I got into the CrossFit world, and I did one of these before I even got into triathlon. So I already knew how fun it was.
It's super fun, you guys. It's not. Now, let me just say, this is not a training day.
No.
I mean, there are people who hella train for it and whatever, but honestly, if you're a triathlete or an endurance athlete of any kind, this is not a training day. This is just a fun, get out there and be a kid kind of day.
Yeah. A lot of fun obstacles. You're not going to be doing, you can run part of it.
You could run the whole we did an 8-mile course with 25 obstacles. You could run every inch of that 8 miles and stop and then do the obstacle and then keep running. But we didn't do that. We had a group that was kind of
We walked. Yeah, we walked most of it. That's one of my favorite parts.
Bit,
yeah, we did some jogging and parts where, there's some big stretches between obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
So let's lay it out for people who haven't done this before. So Tough Mudder, Spartan Race, and there's some others, but Tough Mudder specifically is a lot of obstacles on a course, and you're going under barbed wire, you're jumping into mud pits and climbing over ledges, you're jumping over walls.
Those rope ladders, a lot of that kind of deal.
Yeah. So there's some military kind of like stuff.
It's like military and American Ninja Warrior and that show Wipeout all got together, had a threesome, and then this is the baby of it. And a running event. So all four of those things: running event, military boot camp. What was I trying to say? Boot camp, running event, American Ninja Warrior, and Wipeout, and that show Wipeout, and. Because it's the Tough Mudder, most of these obstacles have water under them. So if you don't have upper body strength and you can't hold yourself, which is my deal, you're going into water, and it's like a little bit murky. Yeah,
there's not any clear water on this course. There's some water that was clearer than others. There's one that definitely smelled like cow shit and piss.
That was one where you had to crawl underneath stuff too, so your face was super close to the mud, like half an inch from this murk. I mean, it was.
I got some of that water in my mouth. I will, full disclosure, we'll see when this podcast goes live.
If we're still alive.
Yeah. I might have to record the next one from St. Joseph's emergency room.
Yeah. I feel like I need to get like a tetanus shot some kind of Hep C thing, like all together.
Probably wise. How do you feel? You feel dinged up at all? I got a couple, goose eggs on my legs, but...
Yeah, I have some skin missing off of my knee and my elbow. But I actually had a really fun day. First of all, it's out. We're doing the for those of you who want to check out Tough Mudder, we're doing we did the classic course in Sonoma. So the classic is the 8 mile. There is a 5K if you want to do that. But honestly, if you're going to try it, don't even bother with the 5K.
No.
You're missing out on a lot of the really more challenging obstacles, like that one where you run up and try to grab the top of this wall.
Yeah, it's a skateboard ramp.
Yeah.
It's like a quarter pipe. So half of a half pipe. You run up, grab, try and like do a muscle up or have people pull you up to the top.
Yeah, it's cool.
And any of those, if you don't make it or if you fall, I mean, some of them you just get wet and then you get out. Or a bunch of people are skipping them. So that's the nice thing is it's not an intense atmosphere like we see at Ironman.
Right. So there's I'm sure we've all seen on the internet or whatever images of people like belly crawling through underneath these things that have like electric wiring. And so I was like, I'm not doing that one. So I skipped. I was like, I just told the guy, I'm an old lady and I'm walking around it. And he was like, okay. And but at the very end, the very last thing you do is you run through these strings of electric wire.
The part's fucked up.
It is. And when I first saw when we were in the little like village before the event started, I was like, we'll not be doing any electric. But then I was like, we were all together and we were running towards the end, and I was like, is everyone going to go through this electric thing? And they were all like, yep. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it too. Just it's the finish.
Peer pressure, right?
And I was in the middle of it, and it was shocking the fuck out of me. And I was like, why am I in this? Like, what am I even doing?
Because at the end, you don't get to be... It's not like you graduated some kind of like special forces training course and you get to wear a green beret or anything cool.
They gave me a bandana.
You get an orange headband, so...
Oh, my God. And I'm sure that if they take video, I don't know if they take video of this, but if they do, I'm sure it's just... If I find a video of this, of me going, I might purchase it just to put it on social media so you guys can see,
there's some wincing.
No, I was wincing. In fact, there was a little announcer guy standing there and he was like, oh, when I was...
Oh, damn, she got shocked.
It like shocked my lower back and like catapulted me forward under this bale of hay.
I kind of like that part because you got a guy doing play-by-play. Oh, this lady just got fucked up. There it is. Get through there. That hurts.
He's
in
like,
your
keep
teeth.
It going. Keep it going. I'm like, I can't do it. Oh my God.
I don't think. Well, here's the great strategy because you said so. After that, we ran up that skateboard ramp and then helped out like 10 people over that thing. That was even harder than running up.
Yeah.
So we jogged up a hill, ran up a hill, like let's run to the finish. And I'm glad we did because I was tired. I was pretty winded running up the hill. And I said, you know what? If I stop, I'm just going to outthink this and just mind fuck myself. So let's just go run right through, rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and just get shocked and just get it over with. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
And that's what I did. And unfortunately for me, I was like, I'm going to follow Mike's line, and I'll be able to see like when he's getting shocked, because not all the things hanging down or have current. But unfortunately, Mike is a former Marine type, so he didn't wince. So I was like, oh, there must not be that many of them there. And then I ran and there was like a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a mistake I made, was trying to look at you. I should have looked at other people to see.
You know what? There's just no thinking involved. That's the best strategy is not to think and just go. Just block it out. Just go. So
the thing I think is that my impression of Tough Mudder before coming was that it's like people running, or they're not even really running, and then they go through these obstacles and they're like, oh, that makes me like fit, and it doesn't really make you fit. You could do this without being fit. And so I was always just like, what? It's a nothing. But the truth is that several of these obstacles are mentally hard because you're just like, can I jump into ice cold water that has like icicles or ice cubes floating in it, and then dive under, put my face all the way under and swim underneath these tires that are there and this ice cold. It's just mental toughness is what it is. So it was fun that way because there are challenges. There was that one that smelled like cow crap. I was like, I don't want to belly crawl into this like dark black tunnel that smells, but I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a germaphobe, so this was like a huge...
Oh, that's even huge. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't realize how big this was for you because...
Oh, yeah. No, I don't
all kinds
like
of liquids floating around in that mud and water.
No, I know. I just was like...
You blocked that part out when you went in?
I was like, girl, just do it. Girl, just do it. Because I keep it clean. Real clean. And so So for me to get in mud was just willingly.
I think one of my favorite parts of this day was the monkey bar obstacle. And so you're doing monkey bars. First of all, it's not just straight across monkey bars. They start going like ascending.
Yeah.
So you got to go higher and higher and higher with each rung, and then down. So it's like a pyramid. And then you got to grab what can only be described as a spinning, like, huge metal steering wheel.
Yep.
And you grabbed onto it, and that thing whipped you around, and you did the classic, like, when you see people like slip on ice.
So you should grab it. It should turn. So it's a like a big ship steering wheel looking, and it's parallel to the ground. So you should grab on it. And it should whip you around, and then you should be able to grab onto the bars on the other side, basically, and keep going down. But I grabbed onto it, and it just shit whipped me around, and I flew into the. I mean,
Yeah, there was a couple of good splashes we had on our team, and that was the best.
I actually ended up spitting up blood after this one because I was still screaming when I went into the water, and so I accidentally took an inhale.
I got a little worried there. I thought you might have had to DNF and walk you back to the start line.
So I was like hacking, and then I like started spitting up blood. And I'm just like, Mike, because Mike was carrying all of our waters in a backpack. I'm like, I need to rinse. I'm gonna die from this mud water in my lungs.
I think the hardest part was just the wear on my knees. Knee pads might be a good call for next year, or at least like some kind of fabric over the knees.
Mike definitely Marine Corps it. You know what I mean? Like if it was like a mud puddle that you could just like commando through, he just would go for it, and the rest of us were like, I don't want to get in, and he would just be like, rah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it probably hurt me just as much, but I think maybe misery tolerance, or just knowing that, well, fuck it, just got to get over with. You know, I think all of us come to events like this and say, all right, how can I do this with the least pain involved, you know, or how can I, run this race or do this training plan with the least pain involved? Mm-hmm. And if that's a limiting factor for you, then it's going to take a little longer to try to negotiate that.
Right. Yeah.
Or we could just block it out like a mongoloid like me and go right through it.
I found that is the way to get through these today. That was a great way, just like, well, I'm just doing it. I don't need to think about it.
I'll tell you, one of the things I love about this the most is that it's something different from triathlon or running or biking or swimming. It's something completely different, and something my wife and I can go out and do together and do with friends. Mm-hmm. Like you came out here and we all did this together, got to talk along the way, and it's something active, it's outdoors, it's fun, it's mentally stimulating, it's engaging, and
it's
you get dirty.
Fun. Yeah, you get dirty. It's like being a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, we had a ropes course near our house, and so I used to play there all the time with my friends and swing from, monkey, just the whole thing. And it was so fun. It was like, it's just a ropes course for adults with water and mud, and you have permission to just like be silly and get muddy. And I mean, it's so fun. It's so fun. But there is one little thing I wanted to talk about, which was at the very beginning. I want to talk about the cultural appropriation.
Oh, yeah. Hoorah.
So at the very beginning, when they're setting, like you go in heats or whatever. So we were in the 10 a.m. group, and when they were getting, us all pumped, the guy was like, everyone say hoorah, and they were like hoorah, which of course Mike was probably like one of the few military people in that group, and I was kind of like, what? Why am I doing this? I looked over, Mike's not even doing it, and I was like, what?
No, I had my arms folded. I was grumpy faced. I'm not doing this. You can't make me. Yeah, not.
Like, let's leave that to the guys who are actually doing military stuff. Let's not pretend that us going to run through mud in Sonoma by the racetrack is the same as being in the Marine Corps.
I think there's a cool pump it up word you could have together. I don't know. Let's go or something.
There's like, or just just like.
It is fun to say. It is fun to say, but
yeah,
no, that was the joke.
Growl, without. I mean, we didn't have to do like military. So that was our one little note about them, is that they do like culturally appropriate military culture.
To be fair, it's one of the coolest things you can yell out if you do it the right way, though. Like I was telling you before, Marines, we do it more. It's more of a arrah, arrah, blah, blah. It sounds more like just a grunt or some kind of noise a dog would make. And if you hear someone like pronounce all the syllables, like hoorah, which
is what we were doing today.
A little cheese.
Yeah, and I mean, and keep in mind, they're like people who are wearing these like matching shirts that have like laser cats on them, and they're like, good. Hoorah. Just like, okay.
Hoorah, laser kitties.
We are going to do it again next year, and we are going to have matching shirts.
Yes, we need to have an Age Groupies team.
Yeah.
Age Groupies team. So start training now, or don't train. Just come show up with us.
Or just do your regular triathlon season, and then when it ends in October, like it should, come to the Tough Mudder.
Exactly.
It's not like you need fitness. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing Kona the next week, maybe not, or maybe you could just come walk the course with us.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. Like,
you imagine someone getting fucked out of a Kona race because they came and slipped and twisted their ankle on the Augustus Gloop or one of these obstacles.
I rolled my ankle on the what was that one? What's that the freezing cold one?
Oh, Arctic Enema.
The Arctic Enema.
That one hurt my head. That one hurt my head a lot.
I dove under the freezing cold water, and the thought that popped into my head was, "Fuck, Mike."
Yeah.
I could have just been home, gone for my trail run, and
petting your dog, having a coffee,
chilling,
watching TV.
Instead, I'm in this dirty, freezing cold mud water. But I'm so glad I came. It was awesome.
This is really fun. I want to do this definitely again.
Yeah.
After I did this last year, my daughter was asking, Mom, Dad, where were you? What were you doing? And so I was showing her videos of that, and she asked, is there a kids one? And so I said, I think so. So we found they had a kids race here today. It would have been feasible to have the kids do it while we were racing, which is kind of why I didn't tell them about this one.
Yeah.
But she did a Spartan race, so I set up an obstacle course in the backyard, and she's like,
awesome.
Set up an obstacle course. So there's things to climb over, go up the stairs, down a slide, carry a brick,
awesome.
Jump over these hoops. Loved it. So I took her to do a Spartan race last year, and she had so much fun.
That's cool. And they do have a kids race here. So if you had someone else to watch your kids do this race while you went and did the actual one, it would work out pretty well. Yeah.
So we need an Age Groupies team mom to come and watch the kids to do it. So the adults, we can all do it together.
Exactly. We're taking volunteers. And what else do we want to say about that? I just want to say about trying new things and different things.
Yeah.
I think is a way to keep it fresh.
Instead
of me doing my normal Sunday long run like I do every Sunday, which is awesome, and I love doing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But to give myself permission to be I don't need to train right now. I can just go do this thing and enjoy the camaraderie and learn and doing just something different, seeing a whole different culture of people and
completely.
It was cool.
Going back to a couple episodes ago, burnout, doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yep.
This keeps it fresh. This changes it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. And, the stereotype at the of the Tough Mudder with the guy with the bandana head and a muscle tee and
facial piercings.
Yeah, or big mustache.
Yes. What do we call it? We play the game. Is it a firefighter or a gay bar aficionado?
Yeah, one of the two. But we had so they, those guys were represented here. They were
they're out in force.
Yeah, they were. But there was also just a bunch of groups of people who were just having a good time and hanging out, and it was fun.
Yeah,
definitely do it again.
Yeah, this is a good time. It's fun. You can do this with a big group too.
Mm-hmm.
And varying fitness levels, because the obstacles will kind of bottleneck sometimes, and so you walk from one to the other, jog from one to the other, and then wait and just kind of go, and it's just fun.
You have to help each other too. A lot of times it's not an individual thing, so you do need, with the that half pipe or quarter pipe, you have to run up and grab the top, but the top's rounded, so you really need to grab people at the top. They grab arm to arm, and they pull you up.
Hard to get purchased with your arms, So the team aspect
you did
of it is
actually.
Cool.
Mike did. Mike got it by himself, but everyone else needed help.
Well, I've tried and failed at that many times.
Yeah, I watched one guy come down. He failed and he just rolled down. I was like, I'm gonna grab onto Mike when I got at the top. I'm not gonna try to go it alone. That guy looked. He just tumbled. Did you see that guy?
Yes. Yeah. I was like, well, hey, man.
He rolled so fast, so he rolled completely off the thing and was just in the dirt.
Dirt by all the tumbleweeds.
So yeah.
I think most of the hate towards Tough Mudder and obstacle course racing and that isn't really about the event itself. It's more about the people who get them confused. Like when you say, oh, you're doing an Ironman? Oh yeah, my uncle did an Ironman. It was like a Tough Mudder Ironman. It's just because the words get confused. People don't know what it is. So it's not even really about the event. It's more about the people just not knowing the difference and not thinking we're special enough, right?
Right. No.
You need to think I'm really special because I did this whole Ironman.
Exactly. Do not get it twisted.
Exactly.
I had to work out 20 hours a week, which I did not need to do for Tough Mudder.
No, definitely not. Lots of body types here.
Yeah. It's awesome, though.
You can make it as hard as you want it to.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, if we had actually run between each one of those things, I would be torn back right now.
Yeah. But to compare them, this doesn't take as well. It takes way more upper body strength.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if you're doing it at a jog or a walk, because it's out in the rolling hills by Sonoma Raceway, so the course is up and down, and and it's exposed. So if you were to actually just run this thing, you would get a great workout in.
Oh, completely. And then if you want to make it harder, throw some weight in a backpack and run with that too.
I mean, if you're doing that, then I hate you.
Yeah, exactly. Just go to Buds, become a Navy SEAL already.
Yeah, just stop.
Join the Marine Corps.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
what do we want to tell our listeners to do this week? What's our challenge or advice?
Oh, try something new.
Try something new.
Athletically.
Like
something you've never ever done before, and then post us on go on Facebook and let us know how it went.
There's a 9 a.m. water aerobics class at my gym.
Boom.
I'm going to try something new.
I just did today. I'm done.
You did. You checked your box.
Yeah.
So I'll think of something. Probably water aerobics is the easiest way to go.
Go for it.
Yeah, those ladies have fun. They got some Pitbull playing on there too. So
oh my God, that's good. That's really good. Okay. I think that's it.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Later.
Alrighty, that concludes today's episode of the Age Groupies Podcast with me, Lindsay Hiken, and my co-host, Mike Ergo. We really hope you enjoyed it. You can follow the show on Instagram at Age Groupies, join our Age Groupies page on Facebook, and look us up by name, Lindsay Hiken and Mike Ergo on Strava. If you have questions, comments, or topic ideas, feel free to email us at agegroupies@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, please leave a rating and review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, as this really helps us get more exposure while we try to grow this little venture. And of course, if you have friends you think might like the show, please be sure to share it with them. But for now, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week.